Ecuador. Let's see. First of all, the population, the numbers, and all that context, and then we're gonna look at how those people actually live in this land. So let's start with the population. Let's start with numbers. 18 million people and rising, but the growing rate, pretty much as we can see, they are going down. So back in 1955, only 4 million people living in this land, with a growing rate about 2.6%. That will be roughly 100,000 people. Migration on minus 1,200, let's call it like that. Median age around 18 years old, and fertility rate, one of those nonsense, 6.7. Urban population around 30%. Fast forward to 2025, the population grew tremendously. Now there are around 18 million people, and still rising, by the way. Yearly change around 0.85%. That will be roughly 150,000 people. Migration is still on minus now with 17,000. Median age around 30 years old. Fertility rate now much more manageable, 1.8. Urban population around 66%. In the future, 2050, population, they say they're gonna reach 21.3 million people with a growing rate 0.37%. Yearly change around 77,000 people, net increase, and migrants minus 2,000 people. Median age around 40 years old, and fertility rate 1.7. Urban population 80%. As you can see, pretty much for the entire history of this country, people choose to live outside, people choose to leave the country, but for some reason that, again, I cannot understand it, my mind cannot comprehend that, people choose to multiply themselves in these countries for whatever reason. Culture, shame, I don't know. But they choose to have many kids. They actually got below replacement in 2020. Again, they was on that path, but pandemic make it more surely about that. Now, life expectancy in this country is around 77 years old for both sexes, which is insane, very high. Females around 80 and males around 75, which is huge numbers, I would say, by any countries, not just here in Ecuador. Infant mortality rate 9.6, and death under age of 5 11.8. Pretty much you can see huge numbers. Medical system very poorly managed, or pretty much non-existent. Here, as always, in South America, always clearly it's European colonization. In this part in Ecuador, they are Spanish one. As you can see, the official language, it is Spanish. Religion, almost 90% of them, they are Christianity and Christians, and the rest of them is pretty much no religion, and 2% other religions. Now, as you can see in the pyramid, very sharp tip, I would say, very sharp pyramid. As always, we're gonna have some male surplus population here by the age of 28-30, and then we're gonna go in the female surplus. Not a huge one, but it is a surplus nevertheless. Economy, economy for this country, let's see. For 2024, the GDP nominal, it's 122 billion US dollars, and PPP around 268 billion US dollars. Growing rate, as you can see, the last one we have 4.1%. For such a small economy, you need to have at least 10%, I would say, to see some actually change. GDP per capita, nominal 6,500 US dollars, which is extremely low, and PPP around 14,000 US dollars. That's very low. But GDP by sector, agriculture 6.7, industry 32%, and services 60%. Inflation minus 0.2%. That's deflation, by the way. Pretty interesting to see that. I don't know exactly how that works. I never think I experienced something like that. But yeah, nevertheless, it is there. Unemployment rate in 2018 was 3.5, so not that much. So I assume even by now things are not gonna go insanely high, but keep in mind they have a pandemic, so yeah. Now, corruption, that's a tough one. Look at this, they are pretty much as corrupt as Peru. So corruption, low salaries, growing in population, I kind of know where this is going, but let's check it anyway. Let's see how those corruption scores turns out. For Ecuador, it's only 32 points, and they drop 6 points. So they are perceived as more corrupt as pretty much almost any country in South America, with the exception of Uruguay and also a bit of Chile. We're gonna see that. So far, those countries doing pretty well, and we see why in the other videos. Now, history, I don't think we need to tell that much. Ecuador is pretty much unchanged, almost unchanged. You can see some territories here from 1900. Like I say, a Spanish colony, a Spanish influence, so as almost any other South American countries. Now, the last video was Peru, so I don't expect that much change. But look at this, they have these nice sets of islands, and they call it Galapagos Islands. If you know, if it sounds familiar, that name is because, yeah, there is that torture called Galapagos torture. So let's see those turtles. Maybe you can find a few of them. Probably most of those territories, they are just only for research. I don't think we're gonna have that much constructions, that much population in this area. So yeah, you can see those people, they can visit, which is nice, I have to say, but it's pretty much, like I said, just to make a buck, or just to make some new data about whatever they study in this region. Mainly, like I say, those turtles, I think I pronounced it right, turtles, Galapagos turtles, frogs, big ones that live like hundreds of years or whatever. Who knows, maybe someone will get lucky and make a 360 with one of those, and you can actually check them very, very briefly. Yeah, none of those islands, they are actually way developed, so at least as I can see so far. It is pretty much just for I don't know what's the point making this street view here, but okay, good for you. Most of them, they are just for research, and a few of them probably also for ooh, that's pretty much an active volcano. And the rest of them are probably so you can actually visit and can make some money if you are still in that working in that department. Now here you can see pretty much those was formed by lava, very heated rock. What else? Like I said, I don't want to say that much in this region. It's not that interesting to see it like this. I make these videos to just see how those people actually live. Clearly this volcano is gonna go upwards to 1000 meters elevation, so nothing that crazy. Oh, they have some communities here. I didn't know that. Let's see, maybe those people actually live pretty nice. This is the nightlife, I would say, and this is 2024, so very recently. Nice looking cars. I'm not sure exactly what their income is gonna be here, how much money they make, how they make it actually, but probably they have some sort of the industry here. So yeah, they have some urban area on this island. This one, yeah, I like this road. I don't need pavement, it looks nice. I'm not sure exactly where it goes. Oh, let's see this one. It is something here. Yeah, it's just a nice view, I guess, when you can actually take a meal. Who knows? Let's check this road. I like it. You see, you don't need pavement roads. This is actually perfect for this region. You don't even think about that. And I think that was 2013, so quite a while ago. Let's check this one. So yeah, they have a community here. They have an urban area, a small town. We cannot call it this a city, let's face it, come on. But let's see more of this if we can. The beach looks pretty nice. This from the above, it looks nice. Even here with those 360s, still pretty nice. I like it. They have some resorts. Probably that's how they make their money here. Like I said, they're gonna develop just enough to make some quick buck, or to explore those islands in a, what are those? It's a house. Explore those islands in a more scientific way. Ooh, look at these wild animals here. I'm not sure exactly if you can relax on the beach when you have those animals moving around. but doesn't seem to bother anyone. Or I don't know, I'm not let my flip-flops here, and especially not food, if I see those wild ones just coming at me, or at least being around me. Just, I don't know, those people are very chill with those wild animals here. I'm not gonna be that relaxed, I would say, around them, but probably they already lived for a long time with them, so they don't seem to bother that much. Here it looks more clean, I would say. No animals, no wildlife, no that stuff, so yeah. But hey, could be, I'm not sure exactly how aggressive is one of those wild animals. This one clearly for tourists, it looks nice. Probably they have some sort of an airstrip where they can actually fly those. Yeah, look at this thing, 100%. They're not gonna just go here by the boat, let's face it. They're gonna fly here. They have an airport, they have a paved road here, which unfortunately we cannot see. We can actually see the power plant here, how they produce their energy. Again, unfortunately we don't have those roads here, but we have this one in the night in 2024, and it looks pretty nice. Clearly it was made for a destination, for a vacation destination, which is not that bad actually. It's pretty nice. What else can we see here? Let's check this one. So that seems so far, I'm gonna look a bit in more detail in a second, but it looks like that was the only one that you can actually travel, see, and enjoy it. You can see the rest of them, they just probably make trips for one day in those regions, and nothing more. Oh, this one looks pretty nice. I hope they've got good weather here. Weather was decent, but the 360 that they made here wasn't that great of the quality, so yeah, that's gonna chip away from the satisfaction. Yeah, I kind of like it. I don't think that, like I said, I don't think we have more than one island that you can actually see, and I don't think you need more than one island. You can actually go there and enjoy a, I don't know, few days vacation. This one looks, oh no, actually we have another one. This one is pretty big. So we have this one that looks like a seahorse, in my opinion. No, I think that looks like a seahorse. We have this, oh, another one, or is the same one? Okay, so we have some communities on those islands. They're not exactly just one. Ooh, this one is very nice. Okay, Ecuador doesn't look so bad. Ooh, they're actually pretty big here with the how they live. Okay, let's check them. Let's check this bay area. Huh, it's a harbor. Not exactly dirty because they are. Oh, that was a wild animal there. That's nature. That's just leaves, not something. Ooh, look at those. Even those, they look dangerous. How they can be so calm around them is just. Probably they make some weird noises either. So yeah, good luck sleeping one of those. Oof, let's see these small lakes. Probably is gonna be the same story. Nice one. Yeah, from above looks pretty nice. You can go there and swim. Probably a bit more safe than around those wild animals, wildlife. Same touristy area. Yeah, probably the entire economy on those towns, they are based on tourists. And this is 2025. Horrible looking street view. Bus station, pretty nice. Okay, so they are a bit civilized here. They have bike lanes, pretty nice too. So yeah, probably they just try to keep the cost as low as possible, not using cars for everything, especially for moving tourists around. They just give them, look at this, they give them a bike lanes, and it should be good. Yeah, I believe it's pretty nice in here. Let me see this one. Ecuador is not that bad. Look at this, everybody goes to beach on those rocks here. Hopefully we're not gonna see some wild animals. They're gonna attack you. Those guys you can enjoy. No, are just rocks, these ones. Yeah, beach is pretty nice. Pretty nice. So yeah, they have more here. They have an airstrip here. Ooh, this could be military. This is commercial one. Not sure exactly why they choose to build a commercial airline right there and another one right here. This is the old ones, but how they gonna, oh, they have another town here. A very small one. Maybe something commercial in this one that they not told us about it, because I don't see the point Sitting there, no faces covered. Okay, so yeah, that's a seal right there, doesn't give a fuck about anything, so pretty good. Yeah, there's no bridge, there's just, okay, maybe they just give them by the boat, but why don't build the airstrip right here? They have to have one of those here, 100%. Otherwise, what's the point? Going that distance? Pretty weird, I would say, yeah. Okay, I don't know how much we're gonna stay in this island. It's pretty interesting, a lot of things to see. Probably they're doing a bit better economically here than we're gonna see in the in the mainland Ecuador, but it is pretty nice. Let me check those on, probably by the boat, so I guess the quality is not gonna be that wow. Actually no, the quality is pretty good. Pretty good. Let me see. So yeah, in small towns around these islands, things are not exactly bad, but look at this, just a lot of people jammed together here. Roads are pretty good, I give you that, but not that much land to breathe around it. It's just, and also not that many 360s, just in a few key places, probably some hotels or whatever they have in those regions. That's why they have it. Roads again, not so bad. This is 2022. Pandemic year, by the way, December. Okay, maybe not exactly a height of pandemic, but still. Yeah, pretty decent in this island. Clearly the economy is based on services here, tourism, a lot of them, so yeah, probably it's gonna be better than the mainland. So now let's go to the mainland Ecuador. You can see here they have some mountains, they have sea ports, they have ocean ports, and they have a population that is still growing, and now it's like 18,000 people in this country. Let's see this one. Like I say, as always, we go randomly on the map. I'm not choosing the best location, I'm not choosing the worst location. This one looks absolutely horrible. It's just we going randomly on the map. I'm not sure exactly what I'm gonna see. Only I can speculate it before I see those images with the context that I created before going in those street views, with the population, with the growing rate, with the economics, with the corruption, with all that stuff, just to add some context and see how those people actually live. Now all those numbers are gonna came all of them together and gonna paint a picture, and now we're gonna verify that picture with street views and how those people live, like I said. Also, I have memberships now on the channel if you are interested in supporting. I'm not sure exactly if I'm gonna make exclusive content. Obviously nobody have a membership yet, so yeah, but I feel like I have to at least announce it. So yeah, probably if we can have a lot of people, especially in the future, I'm gonna make some exclusive content for them. Until then, you can just support the channel, I guess, with those membership, subscription, whatever they are. Yeah, here, well, the road is pretty narrow, cables, clearly South America, a lot of fences, a lot of people jammed together, not that much space. And this is 2022, very recently. The road not in the best condition, pretty worse, I would say. Cars pretty old so far from 2022, but I'm not sure exactly. Some of them are better, some of them are worse. This one is pretty nice. They're very expensive cars, by the way, those Mazdas, even here in Europe. Ooh, look at the population, how many actually live in this place. Ooh, all over, spreading around. And doesn't seem to have a nice place, doesn't have a nice ring to it. Look at this, how those people live, just way too many. And keep in mind, this is not how 18 million homes looks like. This is how, what is the capital? It's Quito, I guess I'm pronouncing right, I'm not sure. Maybe it's exactly this one that we saw. Yeah, I think that's the capital right here. Again, randomly on the map, I'm not choosing the worst, I'm not choosing the best. This one looks pretty nice, although this is not 18 million homes how it looks. This is 18 million people in population. probably if you put at least 2 people in one house, which is pretty low, you still end up with 9 million homes. Probably they have half of that, I would say, have like 5 million, let's say, homes. And look how many actually they are. So that's what I'm saying. When you have a huge population in the country, it's an absolutely monumental task to manage everything by housing, streets, food, supplies, water, recycling, garbage, all that, maintenance, all that for a government. It doesn't matter who they are, always going to be an absolutely insane job. With an economy overall, the GDP measure pretty much the whole economy, not how much money the government have to spend on the people. That GDP per capita, it's pretty much the average and output of per person that they make. To have some context also, it doesn't tell the whole story. Clearly there are going to be people that are going to do well, like every single country, and other people that are going to do way poorer. So we are going to see some differences between them, I would say. But here, especially in South America, it seems like those very rich ones are not exactly that many, especially by the Western standards, when you consider them rich. Because so far in those countries, I didn't see like a specific area, specific land when you can see, oh yeah, that's where the rich people live. That looks pretty nice. Here also, although it seems like pretty much everybody is poor, or some of them just a bit above, I would say. I mean, this guy doesn't look that happy, let's face it. Those paved roads, pretty interesting to me, but not so sure exactly why would you do that. Those bars at the windows, clearly, look at those cameras, clearly is gonna tell you a thing or two about the crime rate in the country. So I don't think they're gonna do well in that regard either. With high corruption, that they are perceived as more corrupt country by that metrics, as we can saw. Oh yeah, they have apartment buildings, absolutely horrible. Those graffiti doesn't look bad, doesn't look great. I'm not sure this is the police one. I'm not sure if somebody died here, or maybe just for construction, that just the roof is gonna collapse on you. But still, doesn't look that well. Ooh, yeah, probably this is a school or something like that. Looks very interesting. Those graffitis, I think they are also those paintings, drawings, whatever you want to call it. So see, with that many houses, we see, okay, 5 million houses, maybe not that many, and clearly in this area there are very much less than that, we just considering whole country. But look how giant that looks, look how many they are, look how much infrastructure you have to build. Look at this. Oh yeah, this is 2024 July, so yeah, it's pretty hot outside. Look how much you have to manage. And those barbed wires or whatever they are, it doesn't inspire confidence in a crime rate. I would say it's a huge tax for any government to improve something, to do something, especially when the population is still growing. It might look decent for, let's say, the future. Some people say, oh, we're gonna have a growing economy, it's gonna do it. No, it doesn't paint the whole picture. It's more or less than that. Now look at those buildings. Now I don't prefer, like I say, huge apartment buildings. I still believe in low individual houses, but yeah, at least it's a bit more modern, but still not on my taste. Clearly this is the center of the town, this is where the money are. Like I said, some people, they're gonna do better than others, just the way it is. Doesn't matter where you are in the world, you always, especially when you go, I can't wait to go in Africa and make those African videos. You're gonna see what I'm talking about. Now there's gonna be a bit different because they're not gonna be that many, obviously, but still it's gonna paint a picture that it doesn't matter where you go, doesn't matter where you are, always gonna find poor and rich. More poor than rich, but in some countries they have a more equal distribution of the wealth, I guess, than others, but still not even close to perfection, I would say. The road here not so bad. Clearly the size of the country has to play some role. Not a huge one. Let's go back a bit. Look at this, not that huge, but in this metropolitan area, whatever you want to call it, there's clearly a lot of people getting here, want to stay here, want to live here, want to work here, getting attracted by this region, probably because the economics, because I don't see any beauty here. It's just gonna say, oh yeah, that's the best way you can live. Those on that island, that you can say it's a nice beach here, it's a nice way to live. Here is just pretty much ugly buildings, concretes, roads, and let's check the bars on the windows. Yeah. Yeah, it's a sketchy area here, at least, let's say. Well, I'm sure there's gonna be some good areas, like we saw those in the downtown center. It looks pretty decent, but still, most of the people are not gonna live in that area. Are gonna live in an area like this, and I don't know. For me, it's just, as long as we see so many countries so far, and when you compare with others, especially even with those in the region, yeah, it's just, I don't know. For me, it doesn't seem like a nice place to live here. Oh, that's in the mountains. That's pretty interesting. Let's check those houses. Maybe those people actually live a bit better here. The road is a bit narrow. Somebody trying to build a house here, but they didn't finish. Maybe because the same problem, money. Not sure exactly how expensive the life it is here, but clearly cannot be that cheap. Otherwise, we will see a different picture. Yeah, huge area in this metropolitan area. Let's move to some other area. Maybe we're gonna see some improvement. Keep in mind, 18 million people in this country and rising. As you can see, every single one of them living here. Yeah, this is pretty much a strip, a commercial strip, I would say. A lot of stores, a lot of purchasing, a lot of value of the money. And this is 2022, so very recently. Also huge cities. Now I don't see that exactly straight line, so clearly this a bit older area, let's call it like that, and they develop, but still the same vibe, I would say. Those paved roads like this seems to like that. For me, again, not exactly a huge interest in those. Oh, we have some volcanoes here, mountains. Let's see those. And this is 5,700 meters elevation. Huge one. Absolutely huge one. Now the question still remains, especially for those areas. Would you go in a vacation here? Doesn't seem to work, this one, for whatever reason. Would you go in a vacation? Would you spend your money here? Would you spend your time here? It doesn't work, for God's sake. Just show me something. Come on. Here we go. They have some sort of a new construction here. This is 2017, so exactly not that new by today, let's say, but back then it seems to be new. Not a bad place. Again, it's especially if you live there. Yeah, you can see around you pretty much the same as Bolivia, as Paraguay. It's a bit better maybe than those. Not a huge amount, but a bit better. Better in what is that? This guy start welding or something. A bit better. 2 kids already. A bit better than those countries, but yeah, I think that even here the Chile and Uruguay still remain as a top-notch one so far, here in the region at least. Housing here, not that well, I have to say. Now, let's say, not willing to forgive all of those if the corruption will start going down, if the population will start going down. That would be a different story. But the fact that those populations still going up, the corruption doesn't go down, it seems to me like, what is the point having that many kids here? Even though look at this, fertility rate it's under 2, so it is an improvement, and people are leaving the country. Look at this migration on the minus pretty much from the entire history, as you can see. So the problem it is what happened in the past, how they thinking. I know they are Christianity, I know probably they are Catholics, I know all that means, all that involves, but still it just, the more we are in this region, you are in this region, the poorer you'll become most likely. And not sure exactly how stable a country like this can be, but again, with that corruption, let's face it, the future doesn't look that well. At least we don't have exposed bricks here. Yeah, I have to say, 2015, 10 years ago, maybe they finished by now. Maybe actually looks pretty good, who knows. Yeah, I still believe a huge population, and I guess look at this. The chaos start from here. They have 4 million. If they were today 4 million people, that would be a different story. But if they stop around 10, so that's from the 1990s, around that, again it would be a different story. But they still continue. And again, that's 35 years doing this nonsense to me. If you are like a best condition to live, all that stuff, that would be a different story. But even then, you have to understand, more people, less resource, less opportunities, worst way of life, usually, I would say, also, especially for places like this. Okay, this is randomly on the map. Let's see how those people, they're living that well. No, they don't, but at least they have some decent road, pretty wide, I would say. I don't think they need, so whoever make this urbanization, not that well. Those South American cables, you can see them everywhere. This is a bit more straight lines in this one, but not exactly very straight. Here a bit, yeah, here it's pretty much straight. Let's check those houses, maybe they are better now. Yeah, not a big fan, I have to say, not a big fan of those South American countries. I never was that impressed by them, even by their culture and all that stuff. It's just the only thing that I kind of like right now in this region is the only one, like I said, is Chile and Uruguay, that they seems to wake up and realize the situation that they are and how the future is gonna look. And the future, it does not look that well when you have a huge population and huge corruptions. So yeah, they seem to be, for me it looks like they are being the only one that kind of work on that. Here, look at this, like I said, around, let's say 5 million houses in this country, because let's put 4 people in one house, which is pretty manageable, I would say. And look how many actually are when you see them on the map. You can say, oh, 5 million houses, maybe say, yeah, 5 million, it is pretty high, but it's entire country. So look at this, it's a lot. And providing for all of them electricity, water, clean water, power. Oh my god, look at this. This is like from at least 200 years ago. It looks like that. It looks like that. Yeah, this is poverty. It's just, there's no way around it. Maybe that's why they leave, and probably they just go to work in a neighboring country, or maybe US, and send the money back, and that's how some of them can afford a better, not much better, but a better lifestyle than others. I'm not sure exactly the Ecuador relationship between US and Ecuador, so I kind of overshot that when I said going to work in US. I'm not sure exactly how easy it is to get a visa from here. From what I understand, they didn't have that well of agreements between them. I'm not sure exactly, maybe that changed, maybe that was a long time ago. But oh, look at this, this is pretty nice. They have nice roads here, pretty good. A bit too wide, I would say. See, you don't need to have that such a wide road. It's gonna pretty much, and here the same, it's gonna cost you double than it needs to be, and it's not gonna look that great. And also you're gonna take the space from the population, from the residential area. It doesn't need to be that. It has to be half of this size. It doesn't need to be that high, that wide, that big. It's gonna consume a lot of money to build, a lot of money to maintain, and It's not gonna help anybody, let's face it. Yeah, this region doesn't seem to be that rich. No matter where I go, things are not going that well for them in that one. Let's hope for this one. Again, like I said, randomly on the map, always random, and even here it doesn't seem to be that nice either. So yeah, it's just not so well. Again, one of those wide roads, some businesses going around that road, probably the main one or one of the main ones. But here in the residential area, let's see. Is it better? Is it better? No, I don't like those garbage here, those trash cans or whatever, like bin trash, whatever they call it. Doesn't make any sense to me. Some exposed bricks for the first time we see them. For the first time, I think we saw them, but yeah. They have bars on the windows. Yeah, 100%. Bars on the windows, bars on the windows. Not sure exactly what this guy is doing here, but they have bars on the door here. So again, probably most likely some problem. Ooh, that's an American style truck. Some problem with the crime rate. It's just the way it is here. Yeah, even here they have some bars. Oh shit. Yeah, except those islands in Galapagos Islands, in Isabela, I think Galapagos, I think they call it Isabela Islands or something like that. Let me check. This is Isabela Islands. This is Galapagos Islands. Okay, now Galapagos Islands, it looks pretty nice. Here in the rest of the country, things are not looking that great, I have to say. But okay, this trash here doesn't know it. But for some reason, they choose to have more kids. Not just now. Now they kind of realize it, I guess. Probably, but even now, probably just because of the economics, not because they. Oh, wait a second. It's just maybe if you are less people in this country, you're gonna do a bit better because with any civilization that advance in time and stand the test of time, as we are today, we see that people becoming more efficient. So it's not like, oh, we're gonna have less people, less economic. No, people are becoming more efficient and they're gonna have much more to improve. Hopefully we are still in the country here, to improve their skills and how efficient they can become at different tasks. So yeah, I don't think they are at that level yet, but it's just probably, because economics, that's why they don't have kids. Otherwise, if just a bit better, gonna see again a spike in population. Who knows? Maybe not. Yeah, a lot of bars on the windows again. Things are not going great here. And this is 2022. Oof, a lot of taxi cars here. Maybe it's a parking or whatever, but yeah, it's not appealing, I would say. Not appealing. If you want to visit this country, just go in those islands right there. That's a nice place to see. That's worth it. That I can approve that. But here in the continental country, on the continent, yeah, I guess you see this video that I made if you watch it, so you can have your own opinion. You don't have to take mine, but I don't see a reason to visit anything here on those islands. Yeah, that's nice, especially if you don't care about those wild animals that are gonna pretty much attack you. You'll be fine. But here, I bet that the first window we are gonna see in this residential area is gonna have some bars on it, and let's see if I am right. I don't think we see windows. Yeah, those are the second level. I want to see the ground level one. Okay, let me go a bit for. This is a commercial area, that's why we don't see them. It's a store they have here. Yeah, let's go to the residential area again. Bars on the windows. See, it doesn't matter how much we're trying to see an area that probably is gonna have less crime. Hopefully it is not an easy task. Why can still manage to find only those commercial areas? I want to see the residential ones. Maybe the whole town here is just for commercial. Oh, look at this, and the main road. Man, they have even on the inside. They have a the second pair on the inside. Even this street view doesn't go that well. Yeah, it's just, that's the sad part, I guess. It just doesn't matter. You always have to think about other people and not get mugged or shot or killed or whatever. The crime rate in South America, it is higher than the rest of the world, than the rest of the Western world, obviously. But yeah, it's a story there, 100%. Those have, it's like concrete roads, highways, nobody use them, and they choose to make 2 lanes. A lot of money wasted, in my opinion. I guess we saw pretty much everything that we need to saw in this country, and yeah, roads in some area are pretty good. This is 2023, very recently, and the road looks pretty nice. But huge, but especially in this huge area when a lot of people live, doesn't look that appealing to me. Oh, this used to be a dirt road, now they have a paved road, and this is 2024, very recently. So they invest some money. It's not exactly all bad. Like I said, they seems to, as a country, improve their life there. Just not gonna sit down and look at them, but you can see a lot of areas, most of them not so well. And I'm not sure exactly if in Uruguay we saw some improvement, that they try to improve the way they build things, the way they live. That was very nice to see it. Here, I don't even see an attempt of that. I don't think I can see an area when they say, okay, let's try to build different, let's try to build different houses. Let's try to build in different areas, small towns, small areas, small, not small houses, but a bigger land on the place that we put our house. Here is just, yeah, everybody gonna jam together. They're gonna have anyway like 2-3 kids, and especially like I say in the early 2000s, and yeah, things are working out. Yeah, they're going great in their perspective, but clearly it's not the case, and that's a pretty much a brand new car almost, which is not that cheap, and those are not cheap either. Yeah, but the way they live here is just, rarely you can see a tree in an area like this. They don't even have a tree. This one has a yard with a big house. Those are actually rich, maybe. Oh no, it's a kindergarten. That's why. Yeah, unfortunately, I can see that. Wow, that's pretty bad. This is 2022. I don't see. Ooh, what the fuck? That they're trying to improve the way they live as an individual, at the individual level. I don't see it. Just don't. Ooh, pretty high here. Let's check those mountains. Yeah, I think the first one I want to check, it just doesn't work. Yeah, this one is working. Okay, this one seems to work. Let's see it. And this is almost 5,000 meter elevation. It's gonna get a bit higher, so yeah, pretty high. And you can see the city from above. I believe you can. Look at this. Almost you can. It's huge areas there. Huge one. Let's see if you can see it from here. Hopefully it's gonna allow me to see something. Nah. For whatever reason, you get blocked. Let me see this one. Nah, I can see the city from here, but you can see those cables. Enjoying. Oh yeah, we can see the city. Yeah, the city, the metropolitan area. It's a huge, not just one city here, but it's the capital. So yeah, I think we saw enough. Don't you think? I think we saw enough. Not a huge country. Those islands are definitely worth visiting. We can just go from here to here, pretty much. We can skip that. We can skip the mainland. But yeah, I can see why the population, the fertility rate dropped down, especially since 2015. They got below replacement, and from early 2000 they got down. That's again, any country that start developing, that is connected to the rest of the world. We're gonna see that. What happened in the last 100 years was a total chaos, and everybody kind of knows that. Look at this. They start with 4 million people, and they're going to end up with 21 million people in the 100-year period, which is insane. What else? Migration on minus. I don't think we saw migration on plus, or at least not even a zero. Oh, we have here 2015 migration on plus. Okay, we have 1 year, maybe. But the rest of them it's on minus. So things are not them going well. We saw that people are choosing to live in the country, have fewer kids. The economy is still growing. Like I said, they have more people, but even if they have less people, the economy still is gonna grow because people are becoming more efficient at the jobs, and they're using computers. Pretty soon they're gonna use AI. We're gonna have robots. We're gonna do much better. Yeah, but countries like this, I'm not sure exactly how we're gonna be for them in the future. In the West, it's a different story, but here, I don't know. The problem, like I said, the main problem is that growing population and corruption, and the way they build, the way that I don't see a way out. I don't see them trying something different. I don't see them take a pause and think, okay, what happened in the last decades was absolute chaos. The way we build, the way we live. Like I said, it's a monumental task to manage all those population with all those houses, with all those infrastructure, with, like I said, provide power, electricity, clean water, all that stuff, medical, education, infrastructure, all the whole shebang, the whole 9 yards. It's not gonna be easy, but I like to see, especially not just here in the region, pretty much everywhere. I would like to see, especially at the government level, when they say, okay, we need to stop building like this, we need to stop jamming people together, we need to say to them that more population is not gonna bring that much better life. It could be actually the opposite. And we saw that as an individual level when people choose to have less kids, but probably again, most of them for money, some of them for culture too. I don't exclude that as well. But I would like to see, look at this, they have a lot of lands. They say, look, you're gonna have like 5,000 square meters of the land just for you, for one house, and we're gonna provide you with some planning. We're gonna provide you with this is gonna be the main street. It's a very nice narrow one for the neighborhood. It's gonna be we're gonna build this new town, but it's not gonna have more than let's say 100, maybe 150 people. And we're gonna build the next one a few kilometers away, so they don't exactly connect, so it can actually become even bigger. That doesn't make any sense. And we're gonna provide good pavement roads, good quality roads. So we're gonna have reliable infrastructure. We're gonna have reliable electric power, reliable clean water, hospital nearby. We're gonna have a house that is gonna look amazing, not one of those that you have. Look at this, an individual house. You're gonna have, again, you need to have, for a stable population, one to stabilize it and find a good number. We're gonna say, okay, until then, 1 kid, I guess. But you're gonna have a good population. You can have 2 kids. You're gonna have a house like it's gonna be like 250 square meters, and it's gonna be totally independent efficiency for the grid, especially in the heating or cooling areas. We're gonna have rooms for every kid. We're gonna have bathroom for them. We're gonna have nice lighting. We're gonna have an office that we can study and improve their knowledge and all that stuff. Those takes time, money, and effort. And I like to see them at least trying go in that direction, starting going that direction, because that's gonna be, I guess, for the future. Small communities with everything that you need. Even have, let's say, like I say, 100, 150 people community. When you have like 10 of those, and in the middle of them, let's say at no more than 10 kilometers away from every single house, you're gonna have a hospital there, or no, I don't know, hospital, a school, all that things that you need, stores, groceries. You can have drone delivery, all that stuff. It's gonna improve, but I believe that's gonna be the future. Small communities, not something like this. That's absolutely insane. Look at this, how many. I bet it could. A lot of people know each other here, but still, it's a huge community here. When you have, like I say, more than 80 or 130, 150 people like that, things are not going that well. When there are a few of them, then everybody knows each other, help each other. This is where the magic happened. I say. So yeah, I believe the future is going to be in small communities. We're going to have some big cities still. We're not going to give up on those that easy, but hopefully we're going to have a new one with improved urban planning structures and all that stuff, I would say. Yeah. I guess that's the video for Ecuador. Check the other videos that I make in the region and compare them between them, especially if you live in Ecuador and you want to comment on the video. Maybe I missed something, maybe I misunderstand other things and want to clear that up, want to see how the life it is there, how you think you're going to be in the future, and how it used to be, let's say, like 20 years ago, and how it is now, how's the difference, how nice it is, how much better it got. Feel free to comment, I guess, and check the other videos, especially if you want to compare with other countries in the region or on the other side of the planet. We have a lot of those already. I have a lot of those already made, so I'm gonna make every single one of those countries in the entire world, so you can actually see how it is in your country and also how it is in other countries, even on the other side of the globe, so you can actually compare some notes. Let's see. So yeah, until the next time, check the other videos and see you next time.